some kind of voters, to your side. So I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Okay, Doc, we know anytime the MPP gets below 75% of the votes in the region, they lose the general elections. And the breakaway by Alan Tremartin, will say, do you think the party really handled this issue well?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think that the party really handled this issue creditably. Because I have said time without number that if, for example, you look at the trend, historical trend, and some kinds of antecedents, so to speak, then it means that Alan has not been justifiably treated. And some may disagree because people think that it's a matter of competition. But if you listen to the tape that has come out, certainly from President Akufo-Addo in those times, which is awash as far as social media is concerned, then certainly he has not been treated well. And if that is the case, he's also playing the victim card. And definitely once they get below that percentage, then they are definitely bound for opposition.
Doc, sometimes you'll be amazed by the utterances by the President hopeful, Kennedy Japan, and judging from his utterances, what should the party be doing to ensure a much more united front? Because if they really want to break the eight, this is what a lot of people are envisaging, that if they want to break the eight, it should be a united front. So moving forward, what should the party be looking at for going into November 4 and beyond?
Well, unfortunately, the party has already pressed the self-destruct button. And if I'm supposed to quote or refer to Aristotle for that matter, it's just like the hamartia has already been committed, which is error. So once that hamartia has been committed, there is a continuous, unraveling of the material, so to speak, that definitely will lead to their doom. So once that button is pressed, it is difficult to reverse that. I've said time without number that it often happens that they may only learn lessons from disunity only when they are in opposition, because those who are the helm of affairs now usually will call the bluff of the others. And if that is the case, the others will also say that, well, without us, you're definitely not going to make any show.
Okay.
So if that is the case, then let us all come back home. It has happened before. In 2008, it happened. And so usually people have different motivations. And so if they are not able to, get all these acts right, definitely that means that there is big disunity between the rank and file, of the party. And if that is the case, there is nothing else that they can do until they get into opposition. Because Mr. Alan Babin I always refer to, he said that when a party in government, he said that to the NDC government then, when a party in government is losing, they see nothing, they hear nothing, until that day that they find themselves in a position before they begin to learn lessons.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jonathan Orchwe is a political analyst. He was helping us to understand some development emanating from the camp of the MPP with regards to the recently held showdown walk by President hopeful Kennedy Japan. And now let's move to Nigeria, because President Bola Tinubu has announced a marginal increase in the take-home pay of junior federal civil servants to cushion the impact of the removal of petrol subsidy. The announcement of the interim wage rise comes just 2 days before labor unions embark on an indefinite strike. Last month, the labor unions had gone on a warning strike due to the hardship caused by the removal of the subsidy on petrol. It is not clear if the president of will persuade labor unions not to go ahead with the Tuesday strike. Labor unions want Tinubu to reinstate the fuel subsidy or significantly increase the wages of workers. Previously, the unions have demanded a minimum wage of 200,000 naira. In his Independence Day speech on Sunday, the president announced a 25,000 naira allowance that will be paid to the junior civil servant for the next 6 months. The president said this interim wage rise for low-income workers and the plan for mass transit buses running on gas is to ease the impact of petrol subsidy removal. Abdul Ahmed joins us live via Zoom from Nigeria. He's the research lead and the digital news editor at News Central. Good afternoon, Ahmed. Good to have you on Midday Live.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
Thanks to you. Have labor unions reacted to President Tinubu's speech ahead of the intended Tuesday strike?
We're yet to hear an official response from the labor union. There's been no official response yet. We're watching to see what its reaction will be like. But hopefully, I know before the end of today, we should hear something from them, because it has to be in response to the government as to know if they will proceed with the strike action or if they will call it off.
But how crucial was Nigeria's petrol subsidy, which President Tinubu scrapped on assuming power?
It was very important. The fuel subsidy was more like a criminal enterprise, because it was depleting the nation's economy by an amount that was nearly unbelievable. You know, almost on an annual basis, Nigeria was losing about between 3 to 4 trillion naira, you know, to subsidy payments. And so by the time the president took it out, he was able, in 3 months or thereabout, he was able to save about 1 point something trillion naira. So again, it is from that, what was saved from that subsidy, that the government was able to pay off a little, you know, subsidy in quote, because you see, again, Nigeria is complex in many ways. You take out subsidy and you are unable to refine locally, you still have to go back to importation of fuel. So it was expected at the time that the subsidy was removed that in few months, Nigeria will begin to refine fuel locally. That has not happened, and it has upset the calculations and expectations of the government at the moment. So there's a slight reinstatement of the subsidy, but we are still looking at things to see how it pans out.
Talking about, you know, refining fuel locally, is Dangote's refining, is it not a game changer?
Yes, the refinery was supposed to be, you know, up and running by September, but here we're in October, and it is not operational at the moment. Some have said it will start operating fully by December again. The more you continue to move the goalposts, the more the pinch gets to Nigerians. So Nigerians they easily adapt. We easily adapt to situations, but you see, the fuel itself drives the economy. It drives nearly everything, you know, in the country. So it is almost not sustainable that people will pay so much for fuel and unable to access the fuel as at Wendy. But the moment we have this fuel locally supplied, you know, locally refined, what it means is that we will not need to import fuel as we are doing at the moment, and there will be less pressure, you know, on the naira as it is at the moment.
And 25,000 naira for junior civil servants. And how much is that, you know, in dollar terms? Would that be really impactful in any way?
Well, 25,000 naira increment for, you know, junior staff, you know, cut, you know, across 3 months, you know, is about, say, $150. That will not do much for the Nigerian worker, because, well, let's say it will buy half a bag of rice. It could pay for 40 liters of fuel. It could help you with transportation probably for a month or thereabout, but that doesn't cut it. The idea is that everything has gone up. There's, you know, the price of items have skyrocketed. And so a lot of workers are wondering how, you know, parliamentarians are able to increase their salaries without fuse or force, but the workers, you know, are unable to have their salary increment. But again, from the, you know, objective point of view, even if you were to increase the salary of workers to, say, 200,000 naira, the question is how many workers, civil servants we have in Nigeria? They don't make up to 4% of the entire population. Therefore, we don't see how, you know, any meaningful impact it will have on the generality of the people, because a lot of Nigerians earn money from the informal sector and the private sector. So yes, we want increment. Yes, it is laudable, but it will not affect the economy substantially, as, you know, a lot of people are expecting it to do. So yes, it is good. At least a good place to start from. But we do not know if the labor union will be comfortable with it, because the labor union was asking for 200,000 minimum wage to start with.
Ahmed, until Labour reacts to this very announcement, I'm sure the intended strike on Tuesday still holds. We surely come to you for more updates on this very one. And Abdul Latif Ahmed is the research lead and digital news editor at News Central in Nigeria, you know, trying to help us understand some of these developments that have been emanating in the country, especially the strike by the Labour on Tuesday. If you just tune in, you're watching Media Live here on TV3 with me, Josh Quinn. In more news this afternoon, the fight against illegal mining has yet to achieve a desired result despite the allocation of huge resources to end the menace. The Ashanti Regional Minister, Simon Osei-Mensah, is proposing stiffer punishment like imprisonment for illegal miners instead of the fines. The minister, who also doubles as the chairman of the Regional Security Council, was speaking to TV3 on the sidelines of stakeholder engagements by the Ghana Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative in Kumasi.
The fight is very, very difficult, but we don't think they can overpower us. Going forward, we adopt various strategies, and then we plead with the courts also to assist us. You see, maybe it's time we stop the fine and rather concentrate on imprisonment. Because the moment you impose a fine, the people will contribute and come and pay. And the person is out there and move back and go and do the illegal mining. Even consider legally acquired concessions, like where we have Anglo Gold Ashanti, Asanko Gold and others. The Galamsey are still going there. You go and clear them. Next time, again, they are over there. It's not a small fight. And I will plead with my colleague politicians. Let's get united and fight this canker. No single political party can fight the menace alone. We need all hands on the deck. Because at the end of the day, we are going for elections and everybody wants power. You want the people to vote for you. Consider the 2020 elections. The New Patriotic Party lost almost all the Galamsey areas because people felt that if there's change in government, they will have the opportunity to go ahead with their Galamsey activities in peace. So whilst we are also fighting and others will not support, definitely we will not win. I want all of us to be together and fight Galamsey. Tomorrow, when another party is also in power, let's all of us join that party and fight Galamsey. Our basic survival is being endangered because they say that when the last tree dies, the last man will also die.
Simon Osei-Mensah is the Ashanti Regional Minister. Now let's talk agriculture. Côte d'Ivoire, the world's largest cocoa producer and exporter, on Saturday announced the farm gate price of 1,000 CNF francs per kilogram for the main crop of the 2023-2024 marketing year starting October 1. That's today. Out of 5 million tons of global cocoa production, Côte d'Ivoire alone produces about 2.5 million tons annually and exports almost the entire quantity, including value-added products like cocoa butter. Côte d'Ivoire harvests cocoa twice a year, with the first crop picked during October to March, while the second crop in April to September period. Cocoa is the key driver of the agro-based economy of Côte d'Ivoire, which is currently focusing on complying with the European Union regulations on sustainability. Here in Ghana, government last month increased the cocoa price from 800 to 1,300 Ghana cedis. Stevenson Anane Boateng is president of the National Cocoa Farmers Association, and he joins us via phone. Good afternoon, Stevenson, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon, my dear brothers.
Yeah, Stevenson, following Ghana's increment in cocoa prices, you said it was, enough to tackle smuggling. Now that Ivory Coast has increased its prices, that's still higher. So that's that sort of motivation. People can still smuggle. You fear the West?
Good afternoon to the listeners. That is true. And, everything is like it was before. Cocoa has been increased from 800 to 1,308 Ghana cedis. And it looks still not fair. This is because last year, when cocoa was 600, it was increased to 800 Ghana cedis. And Ivory Coast was then increased to 1,450 cedis. And comparably, Ghana, we said there's this living income differential, which is that Ghana and Ivory Coast are sharing the same standard of cocoa price, except that nobody will smuggle it. But here is the case: cocoa has been increased from 800 to 1,308 Ghana cedis, where Ghana, Ivory Coast, last year price, we Ghanaians did not reach that height. And in fact, it's been news to us because now, as we are speaking, Ivory Coast is demanding for 44% increase.
Okay.
Which compared to Ghana price now, we did not reach the price of last year cocoa price, which is something. So the smuggling will never stop. It will never stop because the price did not reach the price of last year cocoa price, 2022-2023 cocoa price of Ivory Coast. So if Ivory Coast is going to increase it, it's likely the price is going to go high. And then everybody, the businessman will take advantage on that and steal the cocoa or smuggle the cocoa from Ghana to Ivory Coast. So this means we cannot sustain our cocoa production in Ghana. Just because the treatment to the Ghanaian cocoa farmers is unfair.
So, Stevenson, in short, what you're trying to say, there's this lack of cooperation between both countries. Is that what it is?
Yes, it is, because we don't know how our leaders, the Cocoa Board, discuss with Ivory Coast. They come out with a point that they are trying to keep the same price. But at the end of the day, every year, the price, Ivory Coast price is still higher than ours. And, as I'm a farmer, if I'm there and somebody comes and increase my cost or add something to the current price, I will sell it. I will, regardless of where the person is going to sell or what he's using the cocoa for, I will sell it. And the businessmen are always taking advantage on that, smuggling cocoa to Ivory Coast, because the price, as we speak now, the price at Ivory Coast is 1,800 Ghana cedis.
Sure. Well said.
Now.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. Stevenson Anane Boateng is the president of the National Cocoa Farmers Association. And we'll still do more news this afternoon. Ever wondered how electric vehicles work and what makes them different from fossil fuel-powered vehicles? With the country fast urbanizing, government has initiated a policy for the sustainable adoption, development and utilization of electric vehicles to reduce emissions and save the environment. My colleague Christian Yale has more in this report.
When you step on the brake, you turn it on. Yes, there's a signal that will come over here. You see, right now it's not on. Yeah. But when I put it on, the signal will come here and to show okay that it's on. So immediately it's on that way. You can just move.
Electric vehicles are powered by electric motors from batteries or fuel cells, unlike conventional vehicles that use gasoline or diesel engines. EVs lack exhaust systems, starter motors, fuel injection systems, and radiators.
For this, there's a little bit comfort. You don't have to stay for some. You begin to count the days. Oh, I need to change my car oil and all that. The challenge is that this car, it shouldn't be lower than 20%.
What happens when you go below 20%?
Because of the lifespan of the battery.
Andrew Jeremiah prefers electric vehicles due to their low charging cost compared to fueling his conventional car.
When I came to charge, it was 44 or so %.
So, and now you want to charge how much?
I want to charge maybe 90.
So with that one, how much are you going to pay? With
that one, when the kilowatts come up, then they'll make the calculation, but it will not be above 50 cedis.
About 50 cedis?
It will be below 50 cedis.
Okay, gotcha.
It's not about days, it's about the distance, the kilometers you covered.
Government is considering the adoption of electric vehicles to address the country's long-standing traffic congestion and air pollution issues, primarily due to the use of internal combustion engine vehicles.
As the world moves away from fossil fuel vehicles to electric vehicles, it is necessary that Ghana moves with the time to ensure that our country does not become a convenient dumping ground for used fossil vehicles.
Between 2017 and 2021, Ghana imported 17,660 plug-in electric vehicles, prompting the implementation of a new policy framework to reduce greenhouse gas emissions.
There are local startups that are also locally assembling these vehicles. And so government needs to have policies, regulations in place as we do the transition.
However, transport operators have expressed concerns.
Since we are commercial drivers, our main concern is how to acquire those vehicles if they are what's called either produced locally or imported. The infrastructure, like where these EVs will be charged, it's very critical.
You can get it, but it shouldn't be the only car you would want to have for the now. Before you know, definitely the disadvantages are there. It will start coming up, popping up gradually. This car, you can't compare with my petrol car. Like if I want to travel, I don't go with this car because I'll be frustrated.
Nearly all vehicles in the country are fitted with internal combustion engines that run on diesel fuel, petrol, and liquefied petroleum gas. Now, with the Environmental Protection Agency identifying vehicular exhaust emissions as a single largest source of air pollution in Ghana, it becomes very necessary for the country to consider other transport options. Christian Yale, TV3 News, Accra.
And that was a nice report there by my colleague Christian Yali. In more news this afternoon, studies have shown that people in Africa often develop cancer at a younger age than in the rest of the world, according to the National Institute of Health. Close to 1 million people worldwide are also expected to be diagnosed with one form of blood cancer or another. Emmanuel Samani sits with a blood cancer survivor and reports.
Prior to my diagnosis, I was in and out of the hospital for flu-like symptoms, cold, catarrh, sore throat, cough, persistent cough. Usually they give me this cough medication, it goes down and then it comes back again.
In the bustling city of Accra, where the vibrant hues of life usually dominate, Betty Smith Affol's world turned grey in May of 2019. A mother of 3 boys and a school administrator, Betty's life was suddenly overshadowed by an unseen adversary.
First diagnosis was lymphoma, B-cell lymphoma. So when my husband got it, he brought it home. And to be honest, my first reaction was like, that's not my reports.
As her health deteriorated, Betty's doctor suspected a heart condition. But she was not convinced. She felt something was wrong. Without her doctor's approval, she went and got herself an X-ray. The X-ray revealed a 10-centimeter tumor in her chest, fluid collecting in her left lung, and fluid buildup around her heart.
He saw that my heart looks a bit bigger than the normal size, but with the X-ray you might not see any details. It's a bit cloudy. And then my left lung looks like it's all white. There was nothing inside. So he quickly asked us to go and do the CT scan. After the CT scan was done, we got the result. He shook his head and he called my husband. And he said that what he's seeing is not good. And he wouldn't advise us to even go back home. And that he should quickly take me to Korle Bu Cardio. They've seen a tumor which was sitting on my heart. And that has caused the heart not to function well. There's pericardial effusion, there's water around the heart. They saw one tumor in my kidney.
The diagnosis was swift and devastating. She was referred to the Cardiothoracic Center at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. Betty's journey strive for survival began from this center. Betty's case was a challenge for doctors at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital. The tumor was advanced and they had limited options. The doctors recommended radiotherapy at the Sweden Ghana Medical Center, where a heartbreaking revelation awaited her.
So the doctor looked at it and he was like, it's difficult for them to go in there and do that procedure. But looking at me, I have very short time, barely 2 weeks, because the cancer had advanced and there's little that can be done to save me.
However, hope arrived in the form of an email from an Indian hospital. But it came at a price, a whopping $12,000 deposit and immediate travel to India.
Thanks be to God, a hospital in India responded and were like, I should report there as soon as possible, looking at the medical report that they received. He added my x-rays and then CT scan reports to it.
In India, a new chapter of her life began, marked by countless tests and a definite diagnosis. Stage 4 primary mediastinal B-cell lymphoma, resulting in cycles of grueling therapy.
It was a problem because I needed to quit my job. I needed to stop everything that I was doing to earn ends-meet, to be able to fly with her to India to go get her saved. You know, so it was not easy. At the airport, she was denied entrance into the plane because you could see physically that she is a dying person. This is someone who is dying, you know. And then in the plane, the encounter in the plane was horrific. And then at the transit point, you know, she had her neck swelling, you know, getting closer to the head. I mean, the head and the neck were all becoming one.
This therapy only used on 2 other patients. She was told she could die during therapy. Betty then underwent successful surgery to remove the cancer, which had miraculously shrunk from 14 centimeters to 2 centimeters. A proposed bone marrow transplant as part of her treatment was no longer necessary as her bone marrow started functioning properly.
I recovered speedily. I started physiotherapy to exercise, breathing and stuff. And then the results also came out and they said they didn't see anything.
For Professor of Hematology at SynLab Ghana, blood cancers are on the rise.
We've seen an increasing trend, in Ghana. We have other hematological cancers as well, the acute leukemias, the chronic leukemias, multiple myelomas. So we do have quite a lot of them, and they are increasing. Children and for adults, lymphomas constitute about 15%, 13 to 15% of the cancers that we see, the hematology cancers that we see.
She says anyone could get cancer and recommended periodic checkups for early detection.
It's difficult to say that, well, you have preventive measures for cancer, but let's eat right, and then also have regular checkups. I think that's something that Ghanaians don't really do much. Annual checkups, and then of course if you see any swelling or you feel unwell, the first thing you need to do is to go see a doctor so that you'll be properly evaluated.
Betty is still alive today. Her story is one of unwavering determination, the power of love and family, and the resilience of the human spirit. Join the fight against blood cancer as early detection saves lives. Emmanuel Samani, TV3 News, Accra.
That's an extensive report there by my colleague Emmanuel Samani. The good news is Betty survived the disease. We'll bring this story tonight again on News 360. So keep watching TV3. Let's still stay on health because the surge in kidney cases and its accompanying mortality rate in Ghana have been described as troubling by health experts. At the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital, every 1 out of 3 patients who are battling kidney failure ends up dying. This according to an anthropologist, and the facility, Dr. Elliot Cranton-Tanor, is due to the high cost of dialysis. To him, any increment in the cost of dialysis will mean more patients will die since they cannot afford the payment.
Speaking on the sidelines of the 10th Biennial Scientific Conference of the College of Health Sciences at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Dr. Elliot Cranton-Tanor feared this may stop many from coming for dialysis since they are unable to bear the existing costs.
The people admit with kidney disease, or the kidney unit admits with kidney disease to Komfo, for instance, about a third of them will die on admission because they cannot afford care. So, and that is the reality because it is expensive. Ideally, you're supposed to be getting dialysis 3 times a week for the rest of your life, or until you get a kidney transplant done. So if think about it, even if I use, let's say, 500 for easy math, and you need to do it 3 times a week, that comes to 1,500, you know, and in a week. So times 4, that comes to about 6,000 cedis in a month. I mean, how many people get 6,000 in a month? It is the norm. The people we start with are not the ones who continue, you know, even 3 months down the line. Most of them would have stopped. Most of them would have run out of cash.
He expects government to intervene by taking up part of the costs.
If we allow people to pay that much for dialysis, then of course, then they are going to die. But I believe that the young people who are getting these diseases are the people who can work to be able to pay taxes to the same government. So I believe that if there's some support for them, especially when they get a condition which is chronic for their lifetime, so to speak, then even if it's, let's say, 500 and the government can support by, let's say, about 200, 300, I mean, whatever it is that they can support with, I think it will go a long way to be able to help more people to access, you know, the dialysis services, to improve their quality of life, to be able to work, to be able to pay their taxes, you know, to government. I think it should be a national concern, and government should really help these people. It is really pathetic to watch people die on dialysis virtually on a daily basis.
You're still watching Midday Live here on TV3. We're going for a quick commercial break. We're back with more news. Stay with us.
Are you tired of dealing with toilet paper that irritates your skin and clogs your toilets? I mean your WCs? Wait, I have great news for you. Flora Toilet Roll is the game changer. Flora Toilet Roll is thick, gentle on the skin, and fragrance free, making it ideal to clean your intimate parts, as it causes no skin irritations and or allergies. The best part is it is made to dissolve easily, preventing plumbing issues and clogs. Experience the ultimate comfort of Flora Toilet Roll. No more clogs, no more skin irritations.
Ghana, are you ready? Mark your calendar as the Makers House Chapel International presents the Experience Conference 2023. From the 1st to the 8th of October, it's the gathering of the spiritual luminaries of the land. Get ready to experience Archbishop Nicholas Duncan Williams, Reverend Dr. Mensa Otabil, Archbishop Charles Ajina Sari, Reverend Dr. Ampia Kofi, Reverend Dr. Steve Mensah, Reverend Dr. Ebenezer Markwe, Bishop Frank Ofosu Apia, and your host, Dr. Michael Bwedi Nyamiche. Come and experience Jesus, the miracle worker. Venue is the Destiny Arena of the Makers House Chapel International, Atomic, adjacent School of Nuclear and Allied Sciences. Time is 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. on weekdays, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Saturday, and 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Sundays. It's going to be a life-changing encounter. The Experience Conference 2023. I can't wait.
For these two, it feels like a lifetime of love.
Baby, I want to go to the future with you. I'm not gonna leave you at the end of the road. Give me your love, I know it's it.
Was he your spec at all in the house? Oh, tell us, we want to know.
We both contradict each other because it was like the opposite of me.
What was going through your mind? Did you think you were going to win?
I mean, a whole lot was going on behind closed doors. So in our mind,
we want to hear what was going on behind closed doors. And you had 2 million likes.
4 million.
4 million?
Yes.
We have a national pledge. So
for Gralino.
For Gralino.
Hello, Gralino.
But we're not doing that just with them. In fact, we have their best friends here, B-Flush, joining them. This week on The Day Show, we hang out with them as they tell us all about this journey, what the future looks like, and of course, we get to play games with Gralino. Who spends more money? Okay. And that...
I never played the whole position to come for host position.
You be the god.
The Day Show, Sundays at 3 p.m. on TV3.
Throughout this journey, our contestants
Welcome back from the break. This is Midday Live. Interior Minister Ambrose Derry says government will deepen its private sector development with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in pursuit of further cooperation and development. Speaking at the 93rd National Day of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, he wooed investors to take advantage of Ghana's conducive business environment and stable political climate for enormous returns. For the past 63 years, Ghana and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia have maintained warm and friendly bilateral relations and bond of friendship characterized by high-level visits. With a 2023 vision to unleash the kingdom's enormous potential for the benefit of the coming generations, Minister of the Interior Ambrose Derry explained that Ghana will take advantage of the opportunity.
In pursuit of further cooperation and development, it is imperative for Ghana to deepen its private sector development with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I, therefore, encourage Saudi investors to take advantage of the conducive business environment in Ghana, characterized by an abundance of natural resources such as arable land, gold, cocoa, oil, and gas.
He lauded the continuous support by the kingdom, especially at international fora.
Ghana will continue to partner with Saudi Arabia and all peace-loving countries to work towards the maintenance of world peace and security.
A toast was made to enhance the longevity of the relations existing between both countries. Let's know what you make of stories that have been aired so far. Just go onto our social media platforms, particularly Facebook, we are live. Let's know your contributions and opinions. And a recent desk study conducted by the Water and Sanitation Program has shed light on the economic burden of poor sanitation in Ghana. According to the study, inadequate sanitation practices cost Ghana a staggering 420 million cedis or $290 million annually. This financial strain highlights the urgent need for improved sanitation infrastructure and practices to alleviate the substantial economic burden. Despite increasing awareness about plastic waste management in Ghana, the lack of adequate infrastructure remains a significant obstacle. The absence of accessible facilities continues to hinder these efforts. In an effort to address the issue and promote sustainable waste management practices, a two-day hands-on sensitization by DAAD alumni was recently organized in Accra. Participants were selected from various sectors of the economy, showcasing a diverse group committed to addressing this critical challenge.
There's a lack of infrastructure that makes it virtually impossible for those who really aspire to segregate their waste or recycle their waste. And when there is that lack of convenience, also disincentivizes those who actually aspire to. If a household has to travel more than 1 kilometer to dispose of their waste in the center, that's already a disincentive.
The participants embarked on a field visit to Kukrobite, where Koliba, a local organization, is implementing a plastic waste collection project. This or the ground experience provided valuable insight into practical solutions and initiatives aimed at tackling the plastic waste problem at its source.
We have to encourage our colleagues so that plastic waste in our communities, we can go and collect it and send it to the deposit center so that we can increase the number of plastic being recycled.
It's clear that by working together and leading by example, progress can be made in addressing this pressing environmental issue. You know, remember you're watching Midday Live here on TV3, you're live on DSTV channel 279. With the government hoping to drastically reduce environmentally hazardous gases by 2030, researchers in the country have commenced a computational pilot study to convert the heaps of municipal organic waste into cleaner fuel alternatives. The principal investigator, Dr. Murtala Mohammed, says infrastructure has been put in place to commence the study. He told journalists at the Maiden International Conference on Circular Economy, Renewable Energy and Green Hydrogen held in Kumasi.
Our mission is, of course, to combat climate change,
but for the benefit of improving livelihood. Talking about renewable energy and green hydrogen, it's known by all of us. Green hydrogen is perceived as the energy of the future. This is the unique source of energy that is able to decarbonize at the same transport, electricity, industrial process, agriculture, and many others. There's no source that can decarbonize all these at the same, if not green hydrogen. That's why it has become a fundamental and important topic for us at WASCAL, and we have a priority thematic looking at development of this green hydrogen in West Africa.
And now to our very own. Media General has won the prestigious CIMG Media Organization of the Year and Marketing-Oriented Media Organization of the Year awards at the 34th CIMG Annual National Marketing Performance Awards. This recognition speaks volumes of Media General's commitment to excellence and innovation. The event, which recognizes and promotes high professional standards and excellence among marketing practitioners, was held in Accra on Saturday, September 30. Puppet Match Extra, Onua Showtime with Nana Mark Brown, and Onua Concert Party led the charge for Media General. Media General is committed to innovating to bring viewers and listeners nothing but quality educational, informative, and entertaining programs for the years ahead. Lakeside Estate also won the prestigious Marketing-Oriented Real Estate Company of the Year 2022.
We won 2019 and in 2021, and we have won again in 2022. We prioritize our customers. We make sure that we put their concerns, we put their feedback in our development so that we will be able to satisfy their needs. In marketing, you need to prioritize your customers. They are the people who will make your business sustain.
Malcolm Ghana swept 3 awards, including Retail Outlet of the Year.
We have reduced our profit margin. We are selling more. And so there's a certain balance. Because we can't deny Ghanaians of the privileges of using. We sell everything that a human being needs in this country. That's why we say Malcolm Wear Ghana shops. It's a difficult market situation, but we're leveraging, we're improving, we're finding ways and means to reach out to the customer. The customer actually is our #1 client.
Universal Merchant Bank, UMB, was also given a 5-star rating for customer service. MTN Ghana won the Telecom Company of the Year. President of CIMG, Dr. Deneka Sati, called for the introduction of marketing outfits for all government institutions, departments and agencies to make them efficient.
CIMG has begun discussions with the Public Services Commission for the possibility of introducing marketing in all public service organizations at the very top to promote the interests of consumers and for business growth and prosperity.
Kudos to Media General. We know how to do it best because we are the pace setter. We're going for a commercial break. Kevin Osuansa joins you with sports.
Bold, edgy, classy. Are you ready to strut your stuff and shine in the spotlight? Then join Ghana's most photogenic to set the ball rolling. You must be between the ages of 18 to 28 years. You must be at least 5.5 feet tall, not weigh more than 90 kg. You must be fluent in the English language. Send a video of yourself walking towards and away from camera with a short voiceover about yourself. A portrait and full-length photo of yourself. To WhatsApp number 0277 222 641. You can also nominate your favorite model on social media with the hashtag TV3's Ghana's Most Photogenic and tag @TV3Ghana on all social media platforms. Entries end on 7th October. Ghana's Most Photogenic. Beauty through the lens.
The TechnoSpark 10 series. Smooth, hard-wearing, shiny, avant-garde and futuristic color options. You could be the proud owner of this food. Simply follow the award-winning show Ghana's Most Beautiful either on TV or online on any of our social media platforms. Vote for your favorite contestant, and if you emerge the highest voter after the competition, you walk home with the latest TechnoSpark 10 absolutely free. Pick up your phones today, vote your favorite contestant to victory, and win the latest TechnoSpark 10. Also get up to 20% discount on Techno Come On 20 series at any Techno exclusive shop by showing proof of voting on GMB. So no one is left out. Keep voting. The Ghana's Most Beautiful Highest Voter promo is powered by TechnoSpark 10 series. Ghana's Most Beautiful, Ghana's Beauty, Africa's Pride.
Show no, aye manya to say so manya, and aye chaka to say chakademos. Oto ka bi belonche and
delay. Nani nyina for fame no.
Seriously, everything you know because almost all brofo nye prempe brofo.
Brofo e disi kabana meka. Anya brofo hu bia sa na meka.
It's all called public restroom who you so male and female ladies. And don't you think yes how violate Emma? Because you have a male sex organ, but you are using the ladies.
Oh, tell me, empowerment.
What a word, you know, a putoy, and you need delay, a putoy.
The Delay Show now shows on Sundays at 6 p.m. on TV3. Brought to you by Vodafone, Safari Tissues, Pepsodent, Yas Sanitary Pad, Delay Foods, Tabia Takum, Greatfield Ventures, Alisa Hotel.
It is said that all drugs are poisons, but the right dose is what differentiates a poison from a remedy. Did you know that globally more than 11.8 million deaths are recorded each year as a result of drug misuse?
Did you also know that most adverse drug events could have been prevented if only you had spoken to your pharmacist?
And are you aware that untreated sexually transmitted infections could lead to infertility in the long term?
Ask Your Pharmacist is the only health show that brings pharmacists to the discussion to educate you on what that drug does to your body and help you better understand the medical condition and that pill before you swallow it.
So join us as we bring you exciting, compelling, and didactic health content every week right here on the station. My name is Peggy.
My name is Asabia.
And I am Kunedu. And we are your hosts.
Ask Your Pharmacist. Stay informed. Stay healthy. Ask Your Pharmacist Season 3 is proudly brought to you by Dragnet, the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, Let Up Pharmaceuticals, Chango, U School, and the Tema Christian Eye Center.
Ask Your Pharmacist shows Sunday at 1 p.m. on TV3.
Good afternoon. Let's get into the world of sports. My name is Kelvin Oswanta. Starting from the CAF Champions League, Mediama SCF qualified for the group stages after defeating Horoya AC 4-3 over 2 legs. They become the first Ghana Premier League side to reach the group stages since Brecum Chelsea in 2012. In the CAF Confederations Cup, Dreams FC become the first Ghana Premier League side since Asante Kotoko in 2019 to make it to the group stages. They defeated Milo FC 3-2 on aggregate. Division 1 League Board member Sheikh Tofek explains what this qualification means for Ghana football.
To the CAF Champions League and the Confederation Cup group stage is a big statement. If you consider the fact that, you know, clubs like Kadiogo, clubs like AS Bamako, clubs like BYC, Barak Young Controllers, Kara Brazzaville, and all these small clubs who have little or no history in African football would deny clubs like Asante Kotoko and Hasselhoff qualification to the group stage of the CAF Champions League or the Confederation Cup. And the fact that Dreams FC and Mediama FC have been able to make it, you know, this time around, then of course these two clubs deserve a lot of plaudits. Again, it is historic for Dreams FC because they are making it for the first time. This is the first time that Dreams FC are participating in the CAF Confederation Cup, and at their first attempt, they've been able to, you know, secure qualification to the to the group stage of the competition, and that is a very big statement. Very, very big statement. It's a very big statement, and it's a big statement of positivity for Ghana football.
Now to game week 3 of the Ghana Premier League, and returnees Bofokwa Tano continued their impressive start to the season, securing a 1-0 victory over Accra Hearts of Oak at the Coronation Park in Sunyani. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Mwankurina, he's got space, trying to find Saka Dauda. Here is Saka Dauda, and it's opening goal for Tano Bofokwa. They've broken the deadlock. And who else but the captain, Saka Dauda? Just a minute after half-time, and it was all orchestrated by Mwankurina. Sends the ball onto the path of the captain. Now Ben Junior unable to track him down. It was Agbesima, but goalkeeper Richard Attack completely beaten. All the fans are waiting for is the final whistle. He's already blown his whistle, and that's the end of the game here at the Sunyani Coronation Park. Bofokwa have beaten Accra Hearts of Oak. Their first meeting in the Premier League in 16 years, and Bofokwa have picked maximum points, their second win of the season, and this is a big win over the Phobians. Forget about the margin of the scoreline, but excitement galore. They are on cloud 9. A victory to remember on the last day of September. Bofokwa Tano beat Hearts of Oak at the Coronation Park. Captain Marvel.
Well, so Bofokwa Tano lead the Ghana Premier League table after 3 games with 7 points. Some more football and VAR controversy marred the beauty of Tottenham's win over 9-man Liverpool in the Premier League on Saturday. A late own goal from Joel Matip ensured Ange Postecoglou's men remain unbeaten this season alongside City rivals Arsenal. Let's catch up with the highlights.
Endangering the safety of an opponent. And that is absolutely...
Maddison, what has he seen? What a pass! Richarlison!
Goal!
Son the striker!
Absolutely superb Maddison pass. Brilliant cross.
The ball that is Van Dijk. Gakpo tries to turn and does. And Liverpool, in first half added time with 10 men, have got themselves level. Down Diogo Jota, might be sent off here.
It's got to go now. Referee's going for his second yellow card. He's leaving the field. Jota, 2 yellows.
Porro, what a ball! It's late! Against Liverpool! A massive own goal! Extraordinary!
It's cool, calm, feeds the ball to Porro. Touch, fizzed it in through the legs of Robertson, off of Matip's boot. Fire.
Now let's do some boxing. And undisputed super middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez successfully defended his world titles by dropping Jamel Charlo on his way to a dominant unanimous decision 119, 109, 118, 109 twice in the Showtime PPV main event on Saturday night from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas.
And lands a big right hand on Jamel, and he has to go to a knee. Jamel took a right hand. Continuing to move, but Canelo tries. Round 8, left hook connects for just being ever visibly hurt in his career. Keeps that tight defense, but that straight right. 15 to go. Both undisputed. And another right hand, a left hook connects. And Canelo cap off all 12 rounds.
And still, the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world, Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Well, so the 33-year-old still undefeated. That'll be all for sports this afternoon here on Midday Live. International news is up next.
Well, in international news this afternoon, Turkey's interior minister says a suicide bomber detonated an explosive device in front of the ministry building in the Turkish capital, wounding 2 police officers. The minister, Ali Yakriyaya, said 2 attackers were responsible for the explosions in front of the Ministry of Interior building. One of them blew himself and the other was neutralized. The explosion took place at about 9:30 a.m. It is not clear who the attackers were. No one has claimed the attack. The attack comes as Turkish authorities have been carrying out operations against ISIS members. Well, on that note, we draw the curtains on today's edition of Midday Live. We came to you live from the news app here at Adesawe Kanda. For more news updates, you'd want to log on to our website, it's freenews.com. Happy New Month. May the month of October bring great tidings and enormous blessings. Thanks for watching. Always a pleasure coming your way. Have a good afternoon.